एंड वेलकम टू माय यूट्यूब चैनल द सोलफुल डायरी। आज के वीडियो में हम बात करेंगे सरोजनी नायडू की पोम द रॉयल टोम्स ऑफ गोलकोंडा के बारे में। इससे पहले हमने जितनी भी सरोजनी नायडू की वीडियो डिस्कस की है उसका लिंक डिस्क्रिप्शन में। चलिए शुरू करते हैं आज की वीडियो। डेप्थ डिस्कस करने से पहले जान लेते हैं उसके कुछ की फीचर्स। Situated about 2 kilometers from Golconda Fort, the tomb of the seven Qutub Shahi rulers are amidst the beautifully laid out gardens of Ibrahim Bagh. Every yard, tomb, and gallery of these tombs is a gem of Qutub Shahi architecture set in picture perfect serene surroundings. The speakers wanders among decaying sepulchres, using the landscape, ruins, plains, and groves as a living archive of Golconda's royal past. Unlike Naidu's most nationalist or devotional poems, this one emphasizes place as memory rather than the political allegory. Time is not a destroyer but a revealer. The poem resists total erasure of the past, suggesting cultural continuity through natural and architectural remnants. This differs from colonial era elegies that often lament decline without redemption. While kings are remembered through fortifications, queens achieve immortality through seasonal rebirth and nature's cycle. Their flower like bodies contradict passive victimhood. Death fuels regeneration, a motive less emphasized in her urban or patriotic verse. The bulbuls in Pomegranate Grove serve as an active narrator transmitting love and beauty annually. This organic recurrence contrasts with static monument, aligning the poem with ecological memory, a concept emerging in early 20th century Indian literature. Traditional quatrains with iambic rhythm reflect late Romantic influence common in Naidu's work. Though here the structure serves a more reflective the lyrical purpose, the control rhyme scheme provides stability in themes of decay. Less political than her later nationalist poems, this piece belongs to an early phase where aesthetic romanticism dominates, yet it prefigures her interest in female legacy within historical silence. Although written in a conventional form, the poem subtly challenges linear history by centering female resurrection through nature, a quiet subversion of male centric chronicles typical of both colonial and indigenous historiography. It highlights nostalgia, but the poem also reimagines death as generative, particularly for women, an unexplored dimension in discussion of Naidu's gendered symbolism. Archaic diction doth yonder, O kings, elevates the tone, lending ceremonial weight and distancing the speaker from the present. This stylization aligns with early 20th century Indian English poetry's negotiation between tradition and modernity. चलिए पोम को इन डेप्थ डिस्कस करते हैं। स्टैंजा 1 I muse among these silent veins whose spacious darkness guards your dust. Around me sleep the hoary plains that hold your ancient wars and trust. These lines depict the poet meditating in a quiet, dark, and historic cemetery. She is surrounded by the graves of ancient rulers, reflecting on their forgotten powers, the silence of death, and the vast, enduring, but now peaceful plains that witnessed their past conflicts. Muse among these silent veins, the poet is meditating deep in thought among the quiet, sacred, or temple like structures, the tomb of the royal family. Spacious darkness guards your dust. The tombs are described as dark and empty, serving as a peaceful resting place that protects the remains dust of the deceased. Hoary plains that hold your ancient wars and trust. The surrounding old hoary land is described as a guardian or witness that keeps the memory of the battles and victories of the past safe. The poetess is admiring the silent, beautiful architecture of the historic Golconda Fort tomb complex, reflecting on the bygone glory and the transitory nature of the life. The opening lines contrast the immortality of the monuments and the land with the transience of human life and power. Stanza 2 I pause my dreaming spirit hears across the wind and quiet tides the glimmering music of your spears, the laughter of your royal prides. In these lines, the poetess expresses a moment of imaginative reflection where the speaker pauses to hear the echoes of the past over the wind, the glimmering music of your spears and laughter of your royal prides symbolize the vanished glory and power and romantic life of the bygone Qutub Shahi kings, evoking a sense of nostalgia for their lost era. I pause my dreaming spirit here. The poet allows her imagination to transcend the present moment and engage with the past. Across the winds and quiet tides, the unquiet tides represent the relentless, turbulent passage of time, and the winds that sweep over the now abandoned silent tombs of the kings. Glimmering music of your spears, a metaphor for the military strength and bravery of the ancient rulers. Glimmering suggests the shiny, elegant nature of the weapons. Laughter of your royal brides represents the joy, beauty, and intimate personal lives that existed in the palaces now replaced by the silence of the grave. In essence, Naidu is meditating on the transience of life, war, and beauty, finding echoes a vibrant past and a silent, desolate present. Stanza 3. In vain, O kings, doth time aspire to make your names. Oblivion sport while yonder hill fears like a tear the ruined grandeur of your fort. In these lines, the poetess explores the themes of mortality, legacy, and the ultimate triumph of memory. In vain, O king, doth time aspire to make your names. Oblivion sport, the poet addresses the dead kings, asserting that time's attempt to erase their memory is useless, while time usually makes a sport, a game or mockery of human lives by turning them into oblivion, complete forgetfulness. It has failed to do so here. While yonder hill wears like a tear the ruined grandeur of your fort. The physical evidence of their reign, the massive Golconda fort, still stands on the nearby hill like a crown or a decorative layer, even though it is ruined. Its remaining majesty serves as a permanent monument that prevents the kings from being forgotten. Stanza 4. Though centuries falter and decline, your proven strongholds shall remain, embodied memories of your line, incarnate legends of your reign. These lines suggest that while time causes civilizations to decline, the strongholds, forts, storms of the Qutub Shahi kings endure, serving as physical lasting memories of their power. They are incarnate legends, meaning the ruins themselves embody the stories and glory of their reign. Those centuries faltered and declined despite the passage of long periods and the decay of time. Your proven strongholds shall remain the fortress which survived wars. Stand firm, embodied memories of your line. These structures hold the physical history of the royal dynasty. The line incarnate legends of your reign. The stories of the kings are made flesh matter within the stone, making the legends tangible. The poem emphasizes how through these monumental structures, the rulers and their history survive long after their death. Psalm 5. O queens in vain old fate, decree your flower-like bodies to the tomb. That is in truth the vital seed of your imperishable bloom. These lines suggest that death is not a final destructive end but a necessary force for transforming the queen's beauty into an immortal natural presence. The imperishable bloom signifies that their memory is renewed annually by nature rather than being destroyed by fate. The speaker suggests that destiny's effort to destroy the queens by putting them in tomb was futile and vain because their legacy survives. That is metaphorically described as vital seed, the necessary catalyst that allows their beauty to bloom forever in a different, more enduring form. The queen's beauty is not truly gone. It is reborn annually, represented by the singing bulbuls and the pomegranate grove surrounding the tomb, suggesting spiritual or natural perpetuation. This imperishable bloom refers to the lasting poetic and natural beauty of their legend, which cannot be destroyed by time. Naidu contrasts the static, decaying tombs with the vibrant living nature around them, arguing that the queen's essence has become part of the enduring landscape, rendering their death a form of rebirth. Stanza 6. Each newborn year, the bulbuls sing their songs of your renaissant loves. Your beauty wakens with the spring to kindle their pomegranate groves. These lines explore the theme of immortality, true nature, and the cyclical rebirth of beauty. Naidu contrasts the static, decaying monuments of kings with the vibrant, recurring life associated with the queens buried there. The newborn year and spring symbolize rebirth, even though the queens have passed away, their loves and beauty are renascent, reviving or being reborn each year through the natural world. The bulbuls. These birds act as active narrators or singers who preserve the memory of the past. Their songs are not just random chirps, but as are portrayed as carols that celebrate the enduring spirit of those buried in the tombs. The vibrant red of the pomegranate blossoms is seen as a physical manifestation of the queen's awakened beauty. The word kindle suggests that the spirit sets the groves afire with color and life each spring. The preceding lines of the poem describes death not as end but as a vital seed for imperishable bloom. Unlike the stone tombs that eventually crumble, the beauty of the deceased is preserved in an organic recurrence, aligning the poem with the concept of ecological memory. The poem uses traditional quatrains with a controlled rhyme scheme, a hallmark of Naidu's romantic influence to provide stability to the heavy themes of decay and mortality. Poetic devices. The Royal Tombs of Golconda by Sarojini Naidu is rich with poetic devices that create a sense of romantic nostalgia, melancholic beauty, and the triumph of nature over human glory. The poem utilizes a variety of devices to evoke the past and emphasize the cycle of life and death. Imagery. Naidu employs vivid, concrete imagery to paint the scene such as spacious darkness, glimmering music of spears, flowers like bodies, and pomegranate groves. These images help to bring the ruined tombs to life. Metaphor. The tombs are referred to as silent fanes, shrines. The ruined fort is compared to a or tiara on a hill, suggesting enduring royalty. That is described as the vital seed of the queen's imperishable bloom, a paradox suggesting that death is the source of new life. Similarly, the poem uses comparisons to enhance the descriptive quality, such as comparing the ruined fort to a tiara, where, like a tiara, alliteration, the repetition of consonant sounds enhances the musical quality of the poem, such as winds, unquiet tides, and proven strongholds. Personification. The hoary plains are described as holding the ancient wars and trust, and time is portrayed as trying to make the king's name oblivion sport. Apostrophe. The speaker directly addresses the dead kings and queens. O kings, O queens, creating a personal conversational tone with the historical figures. Symbolism. The bulbul or nightingale and the spring symbolize the constant renewal of life and the endurance of beauty despite the decay of the tombs. Archaic diction tone. The use of words like fanes, dot, and yonder create an elevated romantic and nostalgic tone, emphasizing the historical distance. The poem structure, with its regular rhyme scheme and rhythm, provides a sense of stability and serenity amidst the themes of death and decay. Themes. The inevitability of death and transience. Naidu reflects on how even the most powerful kings and queens of the Kuli Qutub Shahi dynasty are now the memories and legends. The poem suggests that death is the great equalizer, taking away royal power and earthly glory. Nostalgia and lost grandeur. The poem evokes a sense of loss, picturing the laughter and music that once filled the palaces, now replaced by silence and ruin. Cultural and historical heritage. The poet honors the history of the Deccan, portraying the tombs not just as graves but as majestic monuments that embody the spirit of an ancient prosperous civilization. Nature's dominion. The poem shows nature taking over the structures, emphasizing the temporal nature of human achievements. होप आज की वीडियो आपको पसंद आई। कैसी लगी हमें कमेंट करके बताएं। कोई डाउट्स या सजेशंस हो तो वो भी आप कमेंट सेक्शन में ड्रॉप कर सकते हैं। अगर वीडियो अच्छी लगी हो तो लाइक शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब टू माय चैनल। मिलते हैं एक और इन्फॉर्मेटिव वीडियो के साथ शाम 4 बजे। टिल देन कीप वॉचिंग एंड कीप सपोर्टिंग द सोलफुल डायरी। थैंक यू।